Friends, today was a little bit different, and I want to catch all of you up on what's going on, and just talk to you a little so that you're not too worried about me, but that you are aware of what's going on. Uh, I want to thank so many people who have reached out to me personally and privately. Those of you who are here. It means quite a lot to me. Um, and just so you know, I reached out to Mark yesterday because I didn't know what to do. Right now, I can't think about much more than my dad and the situation we're going through there. And I'll tell you all a little more about that. But for me to try to talk about Star Wars or um, uh, not think about dad would be great, except I'm not at a place now I can do that. I hope to soon. I don't expect it'll be too much longer, but I'm just I can't do that yet. And I didn't know if I should do this. I know that look, we go to these places to escape what we're going through in our daily lives. And I was struggling, should I share with you what I'm going through? Because many of you are going through difficult situations yourselves. And you come here to get a little bit of relief from that. Much like the last few days, I've been able to spend some time listening to Meg and Jason and Sheev and our friends to be able to at least listen to things that aren't related to my dad's situation. So I just want to catch you all up. I've got some photos I can share just to give a little bit of context, and then and give you an update on where dad is now. Because there is certainly a long road to go. So let me just start by kind of setting the scene. Monday evening, it was about 9:30 p.m. We actually arrived at this location around 9 p.m. We were on the road here, and I was backing a trailer into the driveway. And let me see if you can see my mouse. Yeah. So I was backing the trailer into the driveway, and my dad was standing roughly in this area, off the road, off the driveway. And he was talking to me. I was over in this lane here, and we were backing the trailer in across here. Dad was just saying, come on back, come on back. He was going to let me know if I was getting off the drive. And I'll show you another picture here. Looking the other direction, there was another truck here. There's a barn, and there's this. And we just wanted to make sure it was dark, that I didn't go into anything. So Dad was standing over here. You can see off in the distance this vehicle coming over the hill. As I was on the road, saw this person come over the hill. I've got this is my truck. It's a 1-ton Chevy Silverado, and it's got cab marker lights on the top. It's got lights on the back of the mirrors. We had 4-way flashers on. We've got everything going, and the lady that was driving the vehicle coming down this road didn't see us. From the time she came over this rise to the time she hit the truck, this is roughly a quarter of a mile, not quite, about 400 yards versus 450. 450, I believe, is a quarter mile. This is about 400 yards. From the time she came over this rise to here, she never slowed down, and she never braked. her braking started just a few feet before she touched or hit the trailer. I believe there's some paint marks on the road to highlight where she braked right here, and she hit the trailer right here. About 40 feet. At 60 miles an hour, you're traveling roughly 88 feet a second, which means she braked about 1/2 second before she hit the truck at approximately 60 miles an hour. When she hit the trailer, this is where she impacted. This is my dad's truck up on top of the trailer. And this is where she impacted the side of the trailer. It's got hydraulic controls and that kind of thing. It's a lift trailer to load cars on the things. She hit that. She hit the side of the trailer here, did all the damage across here. This axle. The front end of her car came off the front driver's side, including the wheel assembly and all of that. Came off against the trailer here. The front bumper, everything was wedged under the trailer. She then came off the trailer, hit my dad. Dad was standing roughly here. Dad broke his leg. His left leg broke both bones in his left leg. And he went up onto the windshield, burst the windshield, caved it in, and hit his head against the roof of the car. Carried him all the way across. Then she hit this truck over here, and that's where my dad fell in the grass on the ground right over here. Hey, Jeff, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it, and appreciate your prayers, and you and Candace, take care. Look forward to being able to spend some time with you guys soon, but appreciate it. So Dad fell into the yard over here. I didn't know. All I knew is that my dad was here when I was talking to him. And when I got out of the truck, I jumped out of the truck. They were yelling for him, looking for him. And they couldn't find him because he wasn't here. He wasn't anywhere in the driveway. And he had landed over here. At that time, his leg was broken. His left shoulder was out of place and immobile. Lots of blood because where his head hit the top of the car, it put quite a bit of damage to the top of his head. And thanks, Kev. I appreciate it. He would bleed. You know, the top of your head will bleed. I don't know how many of you have ever experienced it, but like I've reached up on my head and just like scratched a bump, and then had just blood running down my head. Right, so he was bleeding everywhere. A big pool of blood underneath his head on the ground. I wasn't extremely worried about that because I do know that they do bleed a lot. Stevie, thank you so much. We'll be talking about this here in a minute. There's more to come. But he also had a big hole in his chin, and the hole in his chin actually went all the way through into the inside of his mouth. And he was bleeding through that quite profusely as well. When I went to him, he asked me if I could put his legs down. And he thought his legs were in the air and he couldn't put them down. And I told him, Dad, your legs are on the ground, right? And he couldn't feel them. He didn't know. So I reached down and I grabbed his knee. um, and made sure he could hear it or could feel it. He could feel his knees, and then I, uh, I grabbed his left hand and asked him to squeeze. He had no movement in his left hand. Um, Grabbed his right hand, asked him to squeeze. He had minimal movement in his right hand. He's asked me to take his boots off because he thought his feet were swelling. So I pulled his boots off and started touching his toes. He could feel all 10 toes. He could feel his legs. He could feel touches to his knees and hands. And then he wanted his phone. Went looking for his phone. It ended up that the phone had gone into the car that hit him and was laying inside of there. Then lots of things happened. The lady that hit him was unconsolable. She was having run into the truck or into the trailer, and then my dad, and seeing the damage and seeing my dad injured on the ground. She was unconsolable. She was standing back by the barn, back in this area, and there were two young ladies with her. I didn't pay too much attention to them because I was more worried about my dad and taking care of his needs. The ambulances haven't even gotten there yet, right? This is just something that just happened. And they were milling about. Well, over time, and as Nikki said, things are super chaotic. Super chaotic, right? I'm trying to pay attention to my dad, and I'm in a lot of shock over what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing, what's going on, and they ended up loading Dad into an ambulance, taking him to Columbus. About 30-minute ambulance drive. It's a 45-minute drive by car. I took another picture here too. Yeah. So I've shown you all the pictures. So they took him by ambulance, and they did some X-rays. They've done MRIs. They continue to do MRIs over and over and over again, looking for any injuries. There's no damage to his skull, no swelling in his brain. There's no bleeding in his brain, no internal bleeding, no cracked ribs, no damage to his lungs, no organs, his hips, none of that's broken. All that we're very thankful for. I spent several hours with the State Highway Patrol, and we found out that the driver was uninsured and didn't have a license. And we were, over the last couple of days, trying to find the owner of the car she was driving. It wasn't her car. She was a little bit older lady, too, by the way. She appeared to me to be like maybe my dad's age. My dad's 75 years old. And the State Highway Patrol says he was hit between 35, 40 miles an hour after she had hit the trailer and all of that. So there's no insurance coverage on their part. The two young ladies that were with the driver, her passengers, somebody came and picked them up and they left. They are undocumented immigrants who were here under either from migrant work. There's a lot of farming in the area, and we do have a lot of migrant workers through the summer. We also, they come from a town just up the road, Marion, Ohio. It's a fairly significant town. city, and there's a big drug trade problem. Marion is like the drug center for Ohio. It's a hub where then drugs are distributed out through Cleveland, Dayton, Cincinnati, Columbus, Youngstown. Seem to all filter through Marion. They could have been involved in a drug trade. They might be migrant workers, or they might be human traffic. We don't know. Yeah, Marion with one R obsession. Yeah. And there's warrants out for their arrest because he left the scene of an accident. So the insurance comes back to me, and something that my wife and I are going to have to cover. It's our insurance agent will cover the cost of the trailer that was damaged for sure, but my dad's medical bills are going to be extensive, and our insurance only goes to $100,000, and that will blow past that significantly. It's a journey. So, update on my dad is that he still can't really use his arms. He can't feed himself. He can't drink. Somebody has to give him water through a straw and spoon feed him. His teeth are missing. They were in his mouth during the accident. They were in his mouth when he was in the ambulance, but and they were there when he arrived at the hospital, but they've since disappeared. So he has no teeth to eat food with. So it's all soft food right now until they get replacement there as well. He's in a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain management going on, which keeps him in and out of consciousness. When he is awake, he's got a good sense of humor. We've been able to tease him a lot, much like my friend Martin loves to tease me. We love to tease my dad. That's a lot of what's going on. My brother came up from North Carolina, and we're splitting shifts at the hospital. I'll be going back to the hospital this evening. And then tomorrow, I've mentioned before, my dad transports a lot of Amish around in this area. It's a very rural area, and some of his Amish friends want to go see him. So Friday, I'll be picking some of them up and taking them down to see him in Columbus. And then Saturday, I've got to take some more of his feed to his dad, or to dad's customers. Let me show this picture again. Dad owns this trailer. It's a stock trailer, fairly common, but it's full of feed for livestock. There's a lot of cattle feed in there, sheep, horses, that kind of thing, and it all has to be distributed to his customers who have livestock to feed. So I spent the entire day yesterday driving through Ohio, picking up feed and distributing it everywhere, and there's still a lot left. People are starting to come by and pick it up. So just want to let you all know, as you can see here, that's my brother calling. I'll call him right back. As you can see here, my truck is undamaged. It didn't do anything to my truck. I'm fine. We're fine. But my friends, I'm pretty spent. I'm having a tough time. So let me go up here and catch up with the chat, and then I'll be going on the way. I do want to know that um, uh, I hope to get back to talking Star Wars next week. A lot of it depends on when they let Dad out of the hospital. We don't know if he'll have to go to a nursing home before. So there's that. Okay, let me go back up and try to catch up here with the chat. I see many of you, and for those that have reached out to me privately, personally, many of you know who you are. Some who, frankly, I was a little surprised to hear from, who are not part of our immediate community, but are friends in the Star Wars community as a whole. I've heard from people who are have their own channels and who are not necessarily okay. Sorry, I just got a note about getting Dad's replacement teeth. But I'm eternally grateful for the prayers. For me, many of you know I'm Christian, and my faith is an important part of who I am. My friend Jeff was here earlier. Jeff is a member of our home life group Bible study team. Dear friends of ours who are just some of the best people that you'll ever get to know. If you ever were to meet Jeff and Candace Rowe, they're just wonderful, wonderful people who inspire me. And some of you have reached out to me, and again, without just going through all the names, you know who you are, and I want to thank you for reaching out. Okay, thanks so much. I see lots of our friends here. Thank you, Meg, and Adam. Thank you so much. You're part of my daily life. I go through, and I follow. Being able to spend time not thinking about Dad, is good, and it's time when I'm able to go onto Adam's Discord or Meg's and spend time reading, getting caught up, and just seeing what people who aren't in this kind of nonsense are doing. It's good to just get to escape a little bit. Fitz, thank you so much. Dale, another great guy, been around. Originally met him over with Thor Skywalker's group. And Thor Skywalker's another guy. It's just a great guy. And who loves Star Wars. We have differences of opinion, but he's a great guy who loves Star Wars, and he's got a good community. And I'll mention, I wasn't going to, but I'll mention Jay with Drunk 3PO. He's another guy who texts me. Some of you have my private contact information. Vanessa and Yadi and of course Jay. And you've reached out to me privately. I appreciate that. I appreciate it a lot. Big Stevie, appreciate it. Look, the super chats are wonderful. It's going to be something that is a problem we're going to have to deal with, right? Ducky, vent is one word for it. I've been talking to Nikki. Nikki's good for me in a lot of ways, because I can say things that aren't that maybe come more out of emotion than out of thinking, and I'm very, very angry. I'm very angry. That lady had no business. Jason's another great guy, and I enjoyed listening to Jason and Rob. Their silliness was able to give me a little bit of a smile and a chuckle. I appreciate it, and another person that really important. Greg, many times I wish that I met many of you in person and I knew you. I feel like we have close personal connections, and even though we've never been able to meet in person, I can't wait for the day when we're able to come together. Star Wars MCU, come over from the Den of Nerds, I believe, and of course Coachella. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, how did she T-bone the truck like that? She didn't see. We did a little investigating into it, and for at least 10 seconds, she did not have her eyes on the road, at a minimum. And just to show this again, this road, from the time she came over this knoll way back here, time she came over that knoll to the time she hit about where this sign is, she didn't look at the road. Because if you've ever been in the country, you get to see a lot of stars at night. It's beautiful. We love living. It's peaceful. But when there's a light on, even if it's a yard light in somebody's yard, you can see it before you ever get there. And as I mentioned, my truck's got lots of lights on it. The bright lights were on, the four ways were on, and this trailer has side marker light here as well as a tail light at the back, and it had reflective tape all down the side that she tore off, but she wasn't looking. She just simply wasn't looking. Yeah, Nikki knows. I've been really angry. No, she wasn't a sleep obsession. She wasn't. With the status of the undocumented workers or people that were in the back, I don't know their work. Well, if they're into sex trade, human trafficking, or they're transporting drugs, or they're migrant workers, whatever the case is for them, they didn't speak English or wouldn't speak English, and they fled. So we think that she may have been trying to communicate with them using a translator on her phone, or she was texting on her phone, or she was talking. There was something going on that she was distracted for a minimum of 10 seconds. And she only braked for 1/2 of a second before she hit us. Yeah. 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 I don't think she was asleep. I don't think she was asleep. Big Stevie. This is, again, I mentioned before, it's a big deal. These medical expenses, not to mention our deductible and what it's going to do to our rates, is going to be a pretty big hit. Pretty big hit. Mike Porter, God bless you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, I know Martin, and I talked to our friend Mark before doing this. I wasn't sure if it's something I should even do, but I wanted to let you all know what was going on with me. Um, yeah. Greg, you do a lot. Thank you. The driver was uninsured and unlicensed. Her license had been revoked, and she was stuck on the scene the whole night. The two passengers that were with her fled the scene. Brian Stone, thank you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here. And Dave Tree, what a great guy. Dave Tree's just absolutely brilliant. All the cool stuff over in UK. Brilliant. He's got a sharp, great wit. And Dave, I appreciate it. It's one reason we partner with all the cool stuff. He's a great guy. Great guy. Yes, Anna, it's tough. Mike, it's tough. We lost my mom quite abruptly as well, and bring back a lot of memories. A lot of memories. Obsession. Thank you, my friend, my shield brother from another mother. I appreciate it. I hope your dad's okay. Family's important. Yeah, we're trying to. Well, the next thing we need to do is make the house where dad can stay in it, and they don't have to put him in a nursing home. So we're trying to tear out his bathtub, put in a shower unit so that he can bathe, and make sure that the house is in good shape. I did everything I could, Roland. I appreciate it. I just don't know. And Quentin, I saw your message this morning. Thank you. Thank you so much. Stuff. Yeah. Bits again. Thank you. Oh, Obsession got family in Marion, Ohio. Yeah. Well, you know how to get hold of me? Um, right now we're looking for help to replace Dad's bathtub. My brother and I are too busy and we don't have the skills. We've reached out to several people in the area, but we don't have a firm plan on getting that done yet. Nikki, yeah, this is my business PayPal address. Anybody who would like to donate through that would be great. Yeah, Leah, you're right across the border, real close. Yeah, look, many of you know I'm a conservative Republican guy, and I don't know that national health care is the best solution, but what we currently have in the U.S. needs improved. Quentin, thank you again. The PayPal account is very helpful. Sheev, God bless you. I appreciate it. Brian, thank you. Yeah. Nerd Mafia, my Air Force buddy. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. No, this is great. So let me tell you a funny story. So Dad's on the ground. They put the collar on to just make sure he didn't have any spinal injuries. They don't want to injure him any further. And at the hospital, that they had to switch it out. The one was just too bloody. They put a new one on, and we're waiting there with my niece and my brother, and Dad had recently had one of his dogs, one of his pets, had a procedure and had to wear we call it the cone of shame, right? So you put that cone on their collar, and his dog was miserable for days. And even when Dad was laying on the ground, he's bleeding, his legs broke, he's got all this going on. He's complaining about that collar around his neck. It's like, Dad, you got bigger problems than that collar that's on your neck, buddy. And so we're down there joking about it, and we said, maybe now when you go home with the cone of shame, Stubby will look at you and say, "Hey, how you like it, Dad? You don't like wearing that cone of shame, do you?" So that's the kind of fun that we have. We tease wearing the neck collar. It's something else. Yeah, he's a tough dude. He's tough as leather, man. The guy is like a tank. The state highway patrol and the doctors, the nurses, the trauma team that were dealing with him were all amazed at how well he was doing. There's the PayPal account again. I can't pin it from here, Nikki, but I'm sure maybe one of you can. I'll work on that, Meg. I will work on it. We have friends here that we'll do what we can. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, Mark. I know. There's a day for that, and this is part of it. And I'm trying. Thanks, Kev. Appreciate it. Hey, Bad Dad. Good to see you. Thank you. Thanks, David. Thanks. Hey, Jeff's still here. I'm telling you guys, this guy here is an inspiration to me. His family, the way he loves his family, the way he loves the Lord, the way that they express their love through service. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And I'm blessed to have folks like him in my life personally that live nearby, as well as many of you who are here all the time. So I appreciate it. Chimera, thank you. Trucker Mark out there on the road. Thank you. Thanks, Adam. All right. Do that. I'll do that. Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate it. Maverick Pilgrim. Hello. Thank you. Yeah, Star Wars can wait. But you know, I've told you guys I need you. You're really, really important to me. This community is important to me. So, thanks. Yeah. Getting caught up. Maverick Pilgrim. Yeah, the roads are very dark at night. They really are obsession. As you can see out here, there's nothing out here. We got cornfields. It's a straight stretch of road going this way. If you look the other way, you can see a little bit. The road continues on more. This is soybean fields over here. Farmland just keeps going forever and ever and ever. and it's very dark. Is why when there's a light, you can see it. You can see it coming a long way. I appreciate it, Nikki. So here's the other thing that I'm mad about, and I don't understand. And I've got friends. We have other friends here, part of our Bible study group, who are in law enforcement. One of my closest friends for the last 15, 20 years, and also is a huge Star Wars fan. Absolutely love him and his family as well. We go to like Renfest together and stuff like that. Just a fun guy. But he, Fred Strasser, Fred's going to help me understand. But at the end of the night, they didn't arrest her. Her son came, picked her up, and took her home. Is she hurt? No. She was walking around. I mean, emotionally, she was devastated. She was devastated. But physically, she's fine. I can't believe that they just let her son pick her up and take her home. But I don't know the law. I need people in law enforcement to help explain that to me. Doesn't settle well with me right now. Yeah. Quentin, oh my goodness. Quentin, God bless you. Yeah. It is a miracle, Mark. It's an absolute miracle that not more damage was done to my dad. Yeah. It's going to be a long haul. Yeah. Thank you, Adam. You know, the thing, Leia, and my wife does have legal counsel through J.P. Morgan Chase. She has legal counsel there. We'll be reaching out to them. Likelihood is that this lady's trade is made through transporting undocumented workers in whatever trade they're involved in, whether it's drug trafficking, human trafficking, or migrant workers. And the chances are that those girls that were with her are no longer in Ohio. We don't know where they might be. If they're being trafficked in one way or another, it's hard to say where they are. And that this lady's source of employment does not come from an employer where wages can be garnished, if you understand. Okay, don't worry about it. Please don't worry about it. Prayer is me, for a person of faith. Prayer is powerful. It's strong. It's meaningful and real. If you're a person of faith and are inclined to pray for us, I truly value and appreciate it. Thanks, Megan. Thank you. Melvin, jeez, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So what I mean about this community, right? Thank you. So, quite the compliment. Yeah. Whew. Guys. Oh no. Jeez. Oh, Martin. Thank you. Thank you. Keep it up. All right. Keep it up. I'll work on it. Meg needs the cone of shame. Funny. Thank you. Hey. Oh, you guys are something else. You guys are something else. It does. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Jeff. Jeff. Yeah. This is the problem. This is difficulty I have is that I was there, and things I experienced, things I saw, things I can't get out of my head, and it's why Star Wars content has to take a little bit of a pause, just a little bit of a pause, and we'll be back. We'll be back. LaRue. Oh my goodness. LaRue is an interesting place. Floods a lot there. I had an ex-sister-in-law who lived in LaRue. She ended up passing from a drug overdose. Marion's a terrible drug hub for Ohio. Yeah. Yeah, Dawn. Yeah. Thank you. You know one thing, and you remind me of something. The amount of wildlife that come onto the roads at night, the deer that are crossing the road to go from the corn field to the bean field, when you're driving on these county roads or state roads out in the middle of the night, you have to be on high alert for the animals that are near the road, because the chances are, as you get close, they get scared and they want to run, and they'll run in front of you. They run it. There are deer hits here all the time, and it's crazy to be driving like that and not be looking. Not be looking. Adam, thank you for asking. How's your brother? I've got two. Brent is doing okay. Britt is the one who came up here from North Carolina. And just for a little context, when my mom passed, Brent was in North Carolina. My younger brother, Jesse, was in Oregon. And neither of them were able to be here before mom passed. And Brent was scared to death. And he made it up here in time. And it has been very helpful for Brent. Very good for him to be here and to be able to spend some time with Dad, right? Yeah. Fitz, yeah, they're charging her with driving without a license, driving without insurance, distracted driving, reckless op, and perhaps a handful of other charges. But they didn't arrest her. Yeah, this is the problem. Yeah, Ducky, this is what I'm mad about. Is my dad has months of rehabilitation. He's going to have hundreds of thousands of dollars of medical bills. He's going to be going through recovery for maybe the rest of his life, trying to regain full ability to get back to his lifestyle. And it's tough. It's tough. Thank you, RF Gaming Channel. Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, they don't drug with the drug cartels. Well, I'm gonna I'm going to reserve my language here, but there's a group of people. I don't know how to say it. I'll just stop. Nikki knows what I want to say, but I can't. I'm not going to say it here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, Melvin got me too, Sheev. Dadgummit. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Yeah. Yeah. Music therapy. You know, Jedi Mike, I became a professional musician younger in life, partially because of the depression and mental health issues I had. I was able to get relief through music as well. It is. And you know what? I started re-listening to Plagueis yesterday, just to spend some time in a galaxy far, far away. It was helpful. Very helpful. Yeah. Very good, Ducky. Sending my love. Sending my love. Yeah. Yeah. Any kind of animal can just pop up. Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah. All right, Maverick Pilgrim. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate it so much. Yeah. Don't give in to hate. I'm trying, Jason. I really am. And I want to say, no, I don't. I'm just going to be quiet. There are things I want to say, and there's things that in the heat of the moment I need to say. But let me say, those girls, those migrants, the undocumented workers, illegals, whatever you want to call them, they weren't at fault for what happened to my dad. But that lady that was driving sure is. Yeah. Man, I went back to my favorite Star Wars novel. Well, maybe my least favorite, but that's it. Yeah. Jason, thanks. You guys, I truly do cherish your prayers, your friendship. I appreciate this community, all that you do for me. You give me a place every day to come and talk about something I love and something fun, something maybe a laugh with you guys, have a lot of fun speculating and talking about Star Wars. This franchise has been a great place for me my entire life. I've been a fan my entire life, and well, since I was like 10, you know, and it's come to a new life here in my 50s. At 55 years old, it's given me a place to escape, and it's given me some of the best friends that I've ever had, and it's given me a great place where I feel welcome, I feel loved, and it's really, really special. All of you are extremely special to me. So, if you want to reach out to me through DMs in Twitter or DMs in Discord, some of you have my private information, my home cell phone number. Feel free to text me or call me. And if you don't have my home cell phone number, but you know me personally, get hold of me, and we can touch base. It did. So thank you all so much. we have a long road to go, and we've got a lot of unknown ahead of us. And it's going to take Dad a long time, and it's going to take us a long time to get back to where we were. So I hope to be back on next week talking with you all. I thank you for your patience through this time and when I have to step away from the channel briefly and spend some time taking care of my dad, right? Now, when it rains, it pours. Dad was admitted Monday night, Tuesday afternoon. My father-in-law, who's 90 or 80, he's like 89 years old. My father-in-law was admitted to the hospital, Marion General Hospital. His name's James Thompson. But James was admitted to the hospital with very low iron. They did a blood transfusion for him Monday night. Tuesday night, Wednesday, yesterday, they gave him some iron. They did some scoping, endoscope, and they did a GI tract scope looking for internal bleeding. And he's going through that as well. They released him last night, and he is home, but we've got to see what's going on with him as well. Thank you, Mr. Risman. Appreciate it. So you guys, I've got to go be with family for the rest of the day, and I'll be here. Maybe away from the computer, maybe away from YouTube, but I'll be listening to your content, be it Meg or Sheev or Matt or our friend X-Wing, certainly Jason, all of you. Take care. God bless you all. Thank you for being here for me, and we'll talk to you next time.